I want to speak about the idea of the potential, right? So, if you are reaching towards like the potential of something, there's a lot of releases, right? Because you're like working out, for example, and your body is adapting the first time, and then there's a lot of release, a lot of biological release. At one point, when you continue doing this, there's no release anymore because all the energy which was contracted there, which wanted to express itself, had already expressed itself. So there's just little uh, gains to be made. Let's say gains, right? In the same spirit in meditation, it's the same. You release a lot of things initially if you do it properly, and there's a lot of epiphanies, right? And then at one point, um, there's just nothing more to release. So I think Osho spoke about it one time where he said, if the kundalini is going up, there's nothing to feel because it's just like smoke. It just smokes upwards, or like there's just nothing to, or like I won't say nothing, but I would say less because the very fact that we're in this world in the body is already conditioning, but the pattern is definitely there. This pattern of uh, potential release, right? So you just light up a little bit more without having to um, like keep changing things, more releasing things. Yeah, another point I wanted to share this idea of partial pregnancy. That sometimes there's like an epiphany, not an epiphany, but like an insight. But it's not a peak. It's not like glimpse. It's something more permanent, a shift in perception, right? And this is different. This, you know, is just like removing one curtain from the eyes of your beloved, and you see other curtain. It's more like colorful. You go back, but you find that other curtain around you already. So you're already living there. You're living with your deeper self. You can say that, or your deeper um, potentiality. But sometimes it's partial. Like it has already happened in a sense. Uh, some deeper way of living, but it's not connected to the mind very well. So it's partial opening of the curtain, and then or it has opened, but it's just not synced. I spoke lately about the idea of destiny, and it's just from the higher perspective that you say that all my life has been perfect, actually. That the highs couldn't have happened without the lows and all of that. So, um, if you think about it, your destiny, your shining, has been because of the entire dance. The entire dance has been shining, not because you've been at the tip, at the jump, uh, at the highest jump in your dance. Uh, you know, that's where you relatively shine. That's where you relatively feel that this is your destiny. If you ask the ballerina, she will tell you that's the moment. But then after some time, she would say it's actually the entire dance that I was shining. It's that shines through and that allowed this peak. It's just part of something bigger. Thus, her destiny. You see, so destiny here is more about the freedom of change, the freedom of possibilities, um, rather than the specific possibility within that territory, you know. So I think it's just a bit subtle idea, but um, it cuts through the idea that every person has to say something specific, has to do something specific, you know, walk in a specific way. Well, um, you know, perhaps there is that way which is a bit more compatible with the person, but then it's nothing without the entirety of his freedom. Um, yeah, so that's what I wanted to share.